Everyone in another episode of Researcher Celebrity. And today we have Dr. Nutan with us. There is something which we should know at the starting that we are celebrating Women in STEM in the month of December 2022. And we are trying to gather researchers who happen to be women. Technically, they are not supposed to be, mention it like that, but this effort is to celebrate every single researcher, either they are male or female. But for the month of December, we are just trying to gather everyone who has sacrificed so much. There is no comparison between when it comes to a researcher as a male as a female. But what we are going to witness today from Dr. Nutan, we will shortly start the conversation. A brief introduction of Dr. Nutan is she's born and brought up at Bokaro Steel City in Jharkhand. Not an easy journey from Bokaro to cCAMP, and she's presently a senior program manager. But what takes to be here is like Dr. Nutan has done her BSc in biotech from Vinoba Bhave University, did a master's from Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, Punjab, and then joined National Institute of Immunology, New Delhi for her PhD. She visited University of Pittsburgh on a fellowship for obviously doing the research. After finishing her PhD, she joined STEMcutics Research Private Limited as a research scientist, then joined BIREC as project officer, and took all the steps from project officer to project manager. And presently she is at cCAMP as a senior project manager. Thank you very much, Dr. Nutan, for taking time out and having the conversation with Researcher Celebrity.
Thank you, Dr. Raja, for the brief introduction. I am really glad to be a part of this Researcher Celebrities series. And I really want to thank you for taking the initiative and introducing our lives to other new budding entrepreneurs or researchers or scientists I will be happy if even one statement or our life journey just gives them a light that they can be aspired or they can go ahead. And on any note, I'll be very much happy to share the details.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now our star mark question is like how and when you decided that you wanted to be a researcher.
Okay, this term was very new and new for me because as you told, I am from Bokaro Steel City, and it's a very nice small city where the schoolings are really wonderful. And I was a good scholar. I'll call it as a good scholar. I was very much passionate for mathematics, and biology somehow was brought in a later stage to me. And then I got interested in the stuff we do. We started as the dissection of frog and snakes. These were the initial things in biology which I got interested. Then after 12th, we were aspired to be from our city. I think all bio students are meant to be doctors, and all math students meant to be engineers. That's what we have heard from everyone, either it's our father or uncle or anything. So we started preparing for medicals. And at that time, biotech term was very new. It was a new concept and it was a very risky actually word. We did not know. But since I waited for 1 year, I prepared for medicals and I did not manage to get inside this stream. So I opted for biotech. I took the risk. And anyways, I was interested for biology, and then it brought bio and maths together. So that was the point which gives me an insight. Okay, fine, I am studying and then I'll go more deep into it. Mm-hmm. And when we started this reading these subjects, biochem, microbio, and bioinfo, cell bio, these subjects really excited me. Like I was very much deep into study. Leninger was the one book, my favorite book. So that was always being carried by me in hand. Mm-hmm. So somehow I managed to finish that book twice or thrice during my graduation time. But at that time, I did not know after bachelor's biotech what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
So because I joined that as a graduate, this subject was termed as vocational sciences. There were two terms at that time, computer sciences and biotech subjects, and they were vocational sciences. And then I tried to find out the meaning of vocational science. What exactly does that mean to us? So it was termed because they have a better opportunity for jobs. So that's what I got to know. So I thought, okay, fine, let's put our passion. And then they were good because again, my bachelor's was done from Hazaribagh. That's not a very happening city. You can get, I don't know if you will accept this fact, a student studying in Delhi, Mumbai or Bangalore, and a student studying in this tier city, where there is not very much happening outside the campus. There's nothing you get to know. You are reading the book, you are meeting good professors and lecturers who will give you a glimpse of exactly what is happening outside. So that was, I think, some guidance I got from our researchers. There were professors who were invited for lectures. That's what the benefit we got, because biotech was not a very common term that time. So our college will invite professors from Ranchi University or Patna University. So those were 1 or 2 hours lectures, and we'll finish our whole lecture in 1 week. So basically, you are getting all this in 1 week, and then you start preparing on your own. So, but the seniors were very helpful. They given the notes, and then they said that now you have to start preparing for your masters. So again, we got deep into the bookish, but then the real help were book, because the professor will go back to their university. And browsing the net again was not that convenient at that time. But then, yes, from there, I tried to prepare for my master's, and then this All India JNU entrance was there. And before that, I'll just want to mention how I really got interested, because till this time, this was the option given to me. But then when I managed to fill up a form from NCBS, Integrated PhD, and I managed to crack that, it was a very different type of exam. They will ask you for putting your research idea. First was an entrance, objective entrance. I managed to get to it, and then you have to put your research idea, which was very strange to me at that time. What is a research idea? So I tried to think differently, and then I managed to bring up one idea, and I was selected for the final rounds. There were 3 interview rounds at that time, and a panel of senior scientists, like you are sitting over there, and then you are surrounded with 10 different scientists, and the campus itself is so much fascinating. And that was a time when I visited NCBS for the first time. And I will say that it was my first love of science. I was very much fascinated. I wanted to be there. So first, second round of interviews really went well. I was not knowing what to lose, what I am losing. But because these were 3 days whole visit and rounds, the final rounds, I really got very nervous because I wanted to be there. And this created an anxiety. I could not answer any of the questions. And the scientists which had the confidence in me, they were putting words inside my mouth. I could not spell anything. I was shocked. There was a panel of 16 or 14 scientists over there. I could not speak anything. So I had to come back. But then that gave me a hope that I really want to be in this field. So gradually I managed to get into that JNU seat. So All India JNU entrance was at that time MSc Biotech. So I got the position at Amritsar, and it's again the whole campus was with different sciences, but biotech is a stream which has very good facility because DBT has invested in that. That lab was very good. There were 3-4 labs, and then there we got to know this term PhD. We'll see some senior students working day in and out doing research, and then okay, why are they working at the midnight why they don't go back to home at 6 or 7. Then we get to know, okay, they are doing PhD, and that really needs time and your hard effort, your mind, your heart. So, okay, fine. I got interested into PhD, and during my master's, I managed to crack the CSR JRF fellowship. First year it was for lectureship, and then second year I managed to bring out the fellowship. And I have given 2 or 3 exams. Gate score was nice, so I was called for IIT Mumbai interview. And at the same time, I got selected in NII, National Institute of Immunology, for doing my PhD. So these were the areas where I was exposed for during our fellowship. Summer training was there for 2 months. So I visited these 2-3 places. NCBS, I was called by the scientist who really was very much interested with my ideas and all. So she invited me to be to have a summer training for 2 months into the campus. That was a very nice time period. The lab was working on NMR. So at that time, that also pushed me that I have to do my PhD. But NII was a very new term for me. Again, because I was not very much into this field, and this was again an emerging field only. But then I managed to get into the PhD program. I decided to go with that. And 2007 was the year when I was enrolled in the PhD program. I joined Dr. S.K. Gupta's lab, Dr. Satish Kumar Gupta. So his main area, his lab was named as Gamete Anderson Lab. So when I went to meet him first, he asked me, what exactly do you want to do? He offered me 2-3 research areas, which included, one was the gamete, zona pellucida was his protein, where he worked immensely throughout his career. He was more into generating monoclonal antibodies. He was expert in that. He can generate actually monoclonal antibodies for any given protein. And most of the time they are very efficacious. They are good. So the other term was trophoblast, he coined, and HIV was the third word he coined. And I was also given a chance to work on Raman spectra, but that was again a biophysics lab. But this HIV term remained with me, and I told him, sir, I would like to go with that. Then sir told me that there are risks associated with it, because we are now going to start this whole program. There was one senior person, project associate, Dr. Manoj Modi, who was working into that. But then it was just initiated. It was supported by an ICMR project on HIV. So I was very much keen into working with that. I said, okay, sir, I'll do that. Then he told me, okay, you write down few objectives on which you want to do the thesis on. So I written 14, 15 points. Then he called and had a lab meeting with me. And he said, you want to leave this lab or not? Like 14, 15 points. So then he defined me, what exactly am I supposed to do in PhD? Then you should have very defined objectives, not more than 4 or 5 objectives. Let's be very specific. He worked with me. He really helped me out. And I was very much impressed with his lifestyle. He was one of the person from whom you can learn. He was very disciplined. From 9 to 6, he will be in the lab. He was the first one to enter the lab. Sometimes you feel bad that he will open the lab and he will be coming like this, that 9:30, and he'll be seeing that. He's that sort of person. He'll come at 9, sharply 9, and he won't disturb you after 5:30 or 6. He expects that you will work, but he won't force you to do that. So, and very much disciplined and very much keen into what exactly is like, you can't use the funds like that. Even if it's a grant money, it's a government money. You have to be very justifiable. Why are you ordering 7 plates? Why not 5? These are the questions that I had. So we learned a good way to manage your resources in a very nice way with least cost. And there I was responsible, along with our postdoc fellow, work on the BSL-3 lab. So in NII at that time, there were 3 BSL-3 labs established. So those are very fabricated labs. So those BSL-3 labs where an asset for NII. So I worked on that. One was the biggest one, which was ours, was for working with HIV samples. Like we were not working with any biological sample, but live HIV was there. Whenever I come to my family, I'll tell, okay, I am working on HIV, but I won't discuss the details, what exactly I was working on. We were taking full precautions, but again, in that mindset is there, no, I am working on HIV. The conferences and all the workshops which we were arranging will have a different topic, as say, like it was very out of the social stigma. It was always on sex and all, how to avoid transmission of HIV. I could not talk in very much details with my parents. They will ask, what exactly are you doing? So I was working on some plant extracts which can inhibit HIV infection further. And at the end, we were working on towards development of microbicide. So those were supposed to be topical cream sort of, or any interventions which can be applied topically to prevent the HIV transmission. So that was my research area. And at the end of this whole period, we managed to get few very promising plant extracts with anti-HIV activity. And now at the 5th year, I was wondering what will happen when I'll move with these plant extract and with these compounds. I really could imagine, I don't know, people know that katha you use in pan.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, so that plant also we were working, and that was showing immense activity. And some of the active compounds from that we isolated. And so I was just wondering how to bring that into a composition formulation, being very naive. I did not know how to work on that. I can't bring a product. That was just a invention or say research activity. But that somehow makes me a little upset also, that it will be just few papers which I'll publish. We should not expect more than that. At that time, we tried to, we were working with NBRI, National Botanical Research Institute in Lucknow, from where we will get the plant extracts. And then we partnership with the Dabur Research Foundation. But then we could not pursue it further. And the research over there, we published papers. That was the outcome of my PhD, and I was not very much satisfied. Though I got the degree on time, I was the first one from a batch to get the degree. We were a batch, our batch was of 28 students. And so I took my degree, and then I continued there as a postdoc fellow in NII. I trained and more fellows work on these essays established by me with the help of learnings which I got from University of Pittsburgh, Maggie Research Institute. There I was working with Dr. Shaleen Bizuti. She was a very good mentor for me. But the work culture over there, I would like to highlight. It was like Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. You can't work more than that. So we have a different habit in India. Like, okay, it will start at 9, 10, and you can work till 12 o'clock. You'll work on Saturdays, you'll work on Sundays. I still remember that I had some samples. The extract has to be, it was under microbicide trial network. There's all these trainings. So I was supposed to collect the samples on Saturday. So I just told, okay, I'll come tomorrow. Then everyone was looking at me, okay, Saturday the lab is closed. I just thought someone will be coming. No, the whole institute is closed. The building is closed. I was lost. Everyone was giving me different glares. Then I went to that RPI, Charlene. I told that I need to come to Saturday. She herself came. She opened the lab for me. And then I worked for 2 hours. So that was the culture. And I really appreciated that 8 to 5, the precise time really makes you more efficient manager.
Yeah.
I observed that when I was working from 8 to 5, I'll plan it in a better way that till 5, I have to wind up these things. If it is a village, I don't think, maybe people are of different opinions. But I think in research area, you have to be a very good manager. So these were the places where I got a glimpse of what exactly project management or your research management means. With these knowledge, I came back to India, and then after my postdoc fellowship, I was still looking for options. What exactly I want to do now. So though my boss was saying that you can continue your postdoc here, I was of the different opinion that I need to do some more translational activity where I really can see the impact of my work. So I got an interest from Stempeutics Research Private Limited. I interacted with the research scientist over there. Swati was there. She shown some interest, and then it was a mutual consent. I joined Stempeutics Research Private Limited in 2013. So I came back from Delhi after a so long time period, 6 years, 6 good years. I shifted to Bangalore. It was a good transition for me. No one was here from my family. It was a very different set from now north to south. It was a big transition for me. But then gradually I get to know that this is a place where most of the biotech companies are working, and it's a very good environment over here. This background, science background. I was given a glimpse during my 2 months training at NCBS, but that was a different thing, and that was quite long ago.
Yeah.
Then 2013 to 15, I was working on development of different assays on stem cells, MSCs. So Stempeutics' main goal is to develop interventions derived from master mesenchymal stem cells. That's a very intact group of good scientists. At that time, there was a very good R&D lab in Whitefield. So that's the first company where I joined as a research scientist. And again, with I really love to do the science over there. It starts at 8 o'clock, and I alone was working till 6 or 7. And I don't feel tired because, the result will be directed to a product which is going to help patients. So that perception was in the mind that this result is going to give some idea what we can work on. So the energy was different over there. So I believe during my 5-6 years, whatever I have worked in my PhD, in these 2 years, I have worked a similar amount of work. And that was the passion over there. And somehow the people over there also recognize that. I got a Best Innovation Award over there at a Stempeutics Research Private Limited. That award was very encouraging for me. And after 2 years, I gave an interview or submitted an application for BIREC. So Biotech Industry Research Assistance Council. And though I got the position, or I was offered a position, I was in a very dicey condition because I was loving my work at Stempeutics. And then I talked to my PhD boss. He pushed me. He told me that it's going to be a secure job. One very core thing which everyone wants, security, life security. So that aspect was discussed, and then he told that you'll be helping out different people. So you will be at that position. You will be inside a government body, and you can help out, outreach. You will be in the science domain only. You are not going to leave the science field. And then I thought, okay, let's give it a try. I talked to our CEO at that. He's Mr. Manohar from Stempeutics. So he did not, he want me to leave. He was interested into my work, and then he liked my passion. Dr. Anish and Majumdar was also there. So they told me, okay, you go for 1 year and then you come back. Okay, that was the condition, how they leave me. And then after 1 year, 2 years, we used to meet on different occasions. He told me that you are crossing the time, you should be coming back now. When I told, sir, I am liking the job, give me some more time. That's how, but then when I joined BIREC, okay, what BIREC does, so Biotech Industry Research Assistance Council. So basically this is an initiative from DBT. So DBT want to promote the startup core and the translational potential. So that's the work of BIREC. We are given funds from DBT, and we helped DBT to allocate the funds to different academia who want to take their innovation further, and startups who are budding startups who have their innovation ready, either it is at POC level or at different stages of innovation. BIREC would help them in terms of money, mentoring, and I would like to highlight that Dr. Renu Swarup was very instrumental in carrying this passion. She was very much passionate. She was a lady whom we all aspired. Like we have learned a lot. She has the energy. She'll go and she make her the presence felt by us. We were very much passionate. We got the passion actually for the work which we were doing was ignited by her. So during our 5 years, I think she joined as a DBT secretary gradually. Then we get lesser chances to work with her directly. But then she gave the glimpse of what exactly we want to do and how to do. We will interact with her personally during our time period. And that's how I tried my best to help out these startups and researchers. Apart from I was there as an officer as well as manager. So we were running schemes. So our work was to allocate the funds and to take out the milestones. I also tried personally that I'll talk to them. What exactly are they facing? What are the challenges faced? That sometimes money is not sufficient. Sometimes only funds are not sufficient. So they are, and during this time period only COVID came. And COVID has a different impact on these startups. They were very much frustrated. Their labs are closed. Their milestones are due, but they need the money to survive. They need the funds. They need extensions, several extensions, 6 months, 12 months, 1 year. Generally, these are not encouraged, but we try to understand. BIREC was very supportive during this time period, though we also have some issues with funds. But during my entire time period of 7 years at BIREC, I tried my best that let's put an impact into this field. Whatever support and help I can do as my role, I try to do that. Some startups do acknowledge that thanks word is good enough for me to give the kick that, okay, they felt my presence apart from the funds. That is good enough for me to kick. So so that's now cCAMP journey started in July 2022 only, where I felt that I need to move little ahead apart from funds. What exactly are these startups looking for? So with that, I have joined the role of advancement program manager as a senior program manager. So we try to support these startups in form of accelerator programs or any other advancement programs, where we will talk about their challenges, how to overcome those challenges, be it the funds, be it go-to-market strategies, be it commercialization of the product, some technical aspect can be mentored. So that's how I will brief my journey till now, and it will continue further in this area.
And we do look forward to that. So a girl from Bokaro comes out and she had no, at that time, intention of being a researcher. From that to becoming Dr. Nutan and now mentoring, initially mentoring students in lab, now mentoring and helping the startups, doing the translational work which you always wanted to. How a researcher has evolved in this process?
I think it's impact created by the atmosphere you are being. These are imbibed. I have never imagined, as you have pointed out, I have never imagined myself to be at that place. Even if I dreamt out to be a doctor. That's what. So I think it's a gradual journey, which after interacting with different domain of people, different mentors, different guide I have got throughout my journey. I'll try to name some of them. Dr. S.K. Gupta was very instrumental in bringing out the science or the ideas behind me, whatever is going on inside my mind. There was very good seniors, which with their experience, we will discuss sometimes, Acha, okay, what next to do? So I think we've continued with that. I'll say, I don't know how it happened.
Okay.
It was at that time, I don't plan much ahead. Whatever I get the idea, I am very impulsive person, which is not sometimes not good also. So I get an opportunity. I'll think, okay, it looks good. It sounds good. I won't discuss much either with my parents or with anyone. If I feel it is a good idea, I can go ahead. I go ahead.
Okay. So let me ask you this in a different way. Were there any time of when you were doing research, now you are more into an administrative job, when you were doing research and now when you see people doing their research, when obviously research is something just like life, you always have challenges which you have to overcome. But those challenges ever made you feel that you don't want to be into that field, or you just want to just take a break and then again join it? So how was those challenges and how did you overcome?
Let me tell you one thing before I answer this. So I have never got bored, or I did not ever want to take a break from my research. I still miss my culture plates. I still miss my plates. I given a chance, I don't think my hand will shiver anytime doing my experiments. I love to do that. It's just that I got an opportunity where I can help people doing the research. Sometimes I do miss my lab work because that's on a daily basis challenge and then success. Your experiments will fail, but I have never quitted. I was very lucky that even establishing new experiments, the whole experiment set of experiments on HIV or stem cells, I was establishing. I was working on essays. I read books. I got success. So I failed, but it never discouraged me. It will always encourage me that I would have made some mistake. It need to be brushed up. So I did not have taken a break. I'll tell you, during my 7 years of time period at BIREC, our work was divided into two parts. One was investment and one was technical. So at the same time, I'll be doing the scheme management, and the other part, I'll be looking into the research done by different startups which we are supporting. I'll be very much interested to visit their facility, what exactly they are doing, go inside the labs, do field visit. That was my passion. And I think during the COVID time period, I missed that part. And that pushed me to take a step further. Okay, I want to be more close to what they're doing, the research part. So I always want to keep that with me. I don't want to leave that. So,
brilliant.
Yes.
And here, I think I would like to tell all the audience and viewers here that Dr. Nutan brings this passion that even if something is not working, she's not thinking to take a break. She's like, okay, I might have missed something. Let's rectify it and then make it success. This is the attitude a researcher should walk with. But there is no harm if you want to take rest, if you want to take breaks, because that's what you need for rejuvenation. Apparently, Dr. Nutan is like self-illuminated. She doesn't need breaks. So that is one thing which breaks those barriers, because people say that, okay, you might get tired, you need to take breaks and all that. But for some, it is not the way it is. So Dr. Nutan, let's go back to so now what we have discussed was the research part. You did mention your mentors, your friends, the role of the family of you being a researcher. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, sure. Without them, I would not have been here. So just one main line. And actually, I have two siblings. One is my younger sister and the youngest brother, and my mom and my dad. So I will try just to give a glimpse of what my family background is. My father has had the courage to leave his farms. He ran away from his home village in search of some job in Bokaro. We belong from Gaya. So he ran away sometimes. This adventurous story will always be with me. I can imagine him running with his bag, with full planning. He hid his bag into one that straw pile is there. So, and in the morning he ran away and looking for a job so that he can do better than what he's doing. And that's how his journey started in Bokaro Steel City. So he has always this dream and ambition that whatever I have not got, I'll give it to my kids. So he was very good in maths. He scored 99, 98 at that time in advanced mathematics, which is known to be very challenging. But then he did not have, say, a fee of 100 rupees to get an admission in engineering college. So those were the challenges he faced. And believe me, being a person in Bokaro where I can still remember his payslip, which mentions, I will try to find out what exactly is my father's salary. So I still remember it was around 3, 4, and then gradually it was when I was in a kid 2, 3 class. He will never hesitate to fill us any medical forms, engineering college forms, be it of 10,000. At that time, 10,000 really matters a lot. So he won't ever hesitate. So that was his courage and passion, which really kicks us that, yes, he has dreamt something from us. So all of us three are really working hard. And whatever we are today is a contribution of my dad. And then I would also like to mention my mom, who is physically not with me. And during my PhD 2010 year, she passed away on a road accident. And believe me, I still feel that she's in. It's just a matter of yesterday.
Yeah.
So they have sacrificed a lot. My mom will be working at a different place, which was 12 hours away from my town. So they were living apart and they were earning money so that their kids can get the best. So nowadays I can see us and we thought of, okay, vacations, luxury, we need that. We haven't had a holidays in 1 year. I've never seen them enjoying a holidays without us or even with us harming our holidays or our school coachings. I did not see them living that life.
Speaking of the sacrifices, sorry.
Yeah.
You mentioned about your parents, your mom, your father. Now you are a mother too. Have you ever felt that a woman doing research has any toll? The way people say that, oh, it's male versus female in research, and what are your thoughts about it? Because we are doing this women special in STEM, and breaking the barriers is the hashtag line of Empowering Sense Foundation, which you already have done, and you have proved you are living your life by breaking the barriers, coming from Bokaro till here, and being in translational research, developing essays, developing products, now guiding and assessing, mentoring the startups. How do you see that? Is there any toll of women researchers carry with them?
I think talent-wise, there is no different what a woman carries and a man carries. Nice. And I have never felt any discrimination on that aspect. I don't know if I was lucky enough or I did not face any issue in behavior from the colleagues that she's a female or she needs special attention or she need to be ignored. I've never felt that discrimination. I was lucky enough. But I do try to want to mention that emotionally women are different from men. So sometimes that creates when I became a wife, when I got married, things changed a little bit. When I become a mom, I think things change drastically, because then you have to justify your hours for your kid, your work. So I felt that women should be acknowledged with respect. Absolutely. That they are giving the best out of their life.
Yes.
They want to do justice with all the work, but that never will stop a woman from doing good work, doing good job. So that's my say.
No, I think we support this. We 100% are in agreement with you. And now we are at the end of the conversation. So I would like to give some words of wisdom, because you have a huge journey, all the ups what we have seen. For our upcoming budding researchers, your word of wisdom, please.
I would like to say that never be discouraged and never be scared. Do keep trying whatever comes on your way. Don't judge from the words of others. Yeah. Do take chance and do explore the journey with yourself, taking advices from others, but then your journey should be used. Nice. It should not be words from me or from someone. You can listen to us, but then that is your journey. You do whatever is coming out of your heart.
Yes. So here at the now we are almost at the time. So all the viewers and audience, whosoever is watching this, you have seen the passion Dr. Nutan brings to Researcher Celebrity. You want any guidance to her, you can always feel free to write to her. If you want to bridge through Empowering Science Foundation, we can connect to all of our Researcher Celebrities. But what Dr. Nutan has said, always think like you have to choose your own path and walk onto it. You might get suggestions, guidance from anyone and everyone, but it's your path, walk on it, and stay tuned. We'll see you in another episode of Researcher Celebrity with more passion and enthusiasm. For now, we will say thank you, Dr. Nutan, for sharing the journey and igniting so many brains, which will, now you will be the role model for so many ignited brains. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Raja, and all the best, everyone, every viewers. Thank you.